My 19 female sister teen was diagnosed with cancer last year. It's been hard on our family and even harder on her. I love my sister and try to be there for her as best as possible. I also did everything I could to make things easier for my parents. I took over all chores, cooked daily, cleaned the house, did laundry, cared for my siblings, and babysat them more. Luckily, she's doing really well and has recently finished her treatment, which is great, and we're all grateful. Our birthdays are 2 weeks apart, and hers was 2 weeks ago. My parents bought her a new car to celebrate after everything she went through, which I understood. She does deserve it, but I was a bit surprised because I thought they didn't have any money. My dad has been unwilling to help me get a used car since last year, telling me they don't have the money. I didn't even want him to pay for all of it. I had been saving and just wanted them to help me with the rest, but he kept telling me that they had no money for it. Well, my birthday just rolled around, and my parents bought me a book that I mentioned in passing and a $25 takeout gift card to a place I like. I thanked them, but they saw that I wasn't too thrilled and asked me what was wrong. I told them that while I appreciated the gifts, I thought they'd finally help me with the remaining $800 to buy the used car, seeing that they could now afford a new car for my sister. But that's when they accused me of being jealous of my sister, who had just gone through something very traumatic, and that I was trying to make everything about me, and why couldn't I just be happy for her? They said that at the end of the day, I had a job and could just continue saving. Am I the idiot? Edit. I got new headphones for my 16th B-Day. Not the idiot, and OMG, I'm so sorry for you. Your parents really said that you're making your own birthday all about you? Yeah, that's the point of birthdays. Was everything always about your sister before she became ill too? I can't help but point out that you were trying to get their help buying a used car, and they bought her a new car? They probably could have bought you both the used car instead, especially with your contribution too. I don't understand why they can't see how this would be hurtful. It's not jealousy to feel undervalued. I understand your sister's been through a nightmare, but siblings of sick kids always seem to get lost in the panic. It's entirely up to you, but if possible, I'd really talk to your parents about how this made you feel. You stepped up and cared for the household while never giving up on your sister. I think they're probably scared, and I get that the diagnosis changed everyone's lives. But if they continue to paint this picture of you in their heads, that you're resentful and jealous, that can so negatively impact your relationship with them in the future. What I want to know is, if OP took over all the chores, cooked, did laundry, babysat younger siblings, etc., what exactly did the parents do? Like, maybe they both work full-time, but it's still insane that OP was able to take all of this on for them. Ungrateful idiot parents. This right here. OP, your parents should be grateful for all the help you gave them while your sister was sick, helping around the house. I'm sorry they don't recognize that. This would be the end of my helping out. It's sad that your sister has to deal with cancer, but the gap between gifts is too much. And if you keep giving, your resentment will keep building. One day you'll find someone who will recognize you for all you're worth. Hang on to that person. If your parents won't change, I would distance you from them. Keep the people in your life that appreciate you and all that you do. My parents are immigrants and always compare me to my friends, my family, their friends' kids, and random successful kids they see online. This all started because my dad saw me playing a game after I was done with my homework and gave me a lecture on how I shouldn't be playing games, but should be studying. He started complaining about my grades. Truthfully, I don't know what my parents are complaining about because I'm a straight A student. I literally got 100% in a class, but they don't care because it's not math. My parents act like I'm going to become homeless because I'm not getting 100% in every single class, when I have above 90% in every class I take. He started comparing me to some student he read in the paper who got 100% in every class, and I got so frustrated. I told them that compared to my friends' parents, they can't speak or read English, so I had to do everything for them, including tagging along to every store to buy things for them. All my friends have parents that help them with school if they're stuck, yet my parents never completed elementary school. Because of their ignorance, They refused to take me to a dentist until a few months ago because I was in so much pain. Then they even argued with the dentist on treatment. I told them how hard it is to be their translator because they always interrupt the other person while speaking to talk to me while I'm trying to listen and then translate. I told them how every representative blows up at me because of their behavior and tells me to shut my parents up. None of my friends have to deal with that. I feel like they dumped the responsibility on me to raise myself. I had to figure everything out on my own and teach my parents that I needed glasses, regular dental care, good study habits, and arriving to school on time because they always made me late and my teachers blamed me. I told my parents that they don't get to lecture me on my grades because they dropped out and know nothing about the school system. My mom told me that I was too harsh and said I needed to apologize to my dad because he was really hurt by what I said. But I feel like I told the truth. I know that other kids would never say that to their parents, but they've always compared me to my peers to point out all my flaws, like my height and acne, LOL, when I honestly believe they're lucky to have me. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. You're treating them how they've been treating you. If it makes them feel bad, then good. Maybe it's working. They should feel bad for how they've treated you and how they've been so hypocritical. But that's also maybe why they're so hard on you, not giving excuses for their behavior, especially since it's bad across the board in your day-to-day life. But they might be extremely frightened by you not getting an education, and they desperately want that for you. But they do need to back off. Parents need to understand that they're not in the old country anymore. When I was a child at school, they brought a gifted kid from a nearby school and paraded him to shame us for being so dumb. I still remember looking at the kid, who seemed nice enough, and feeling sorry for him. Talk about setting a kid up to be hated. This kind of comparison is poisonous in both directions. Of course your parents think that they're pushing you to do better. Tiger Asians? Tiger parents often produce children who excel in exams and fail in life, cannot accept setbacks and paranoid about failure, unreliable and jumpy. You seem a well-adjusted young person, not the idiot for trying to save your sanity. I, 27 male, am getting married to my fiancée, Millie, 27 female, in a few months. Millie's amazing, and because of her, we have everything planned fast, which is why this is a topic of discussion now. So I asked my sister, India, 26 female, and my best friend, future brother-in-law, when he marries India, Ryder, 27 male, to be my groomspeople. India's technically my best person, but they're sharing everything since it's just the two of them. Millie asked her 3 best friends to be her bridespeople, which includes a guy best friend. Because I asked India and Millie asked a guy best friend to be in our direct wedding parties, my stepfamilies are having a field day over me asking India, but none of my step or half siblings. My parents are divorced, both remarried. My stepfather and mother have a toxic on and off relationship. He has 3 kids from before they met, 2 from after, and they have 2 together. For the last 9 years, they have been a little more solid, and there have been no breakups. Still toxic. My stepmother is a witch, and I hate the woman, and so does India. There's little to no relationship with her judgmental butt. She had 2 sons before she met my dad. She and my dad have 5 more children together. Of all the siblings, I only give a crap about India. The others aren't to blame for the crap show the parents created, but I was never close to any of them, and there's no bond. So I don't plan to give them any jobs at the wedding. They're guests and nothing more. Same for both my parents and their spouses. Some of the step and half siblings are upset, hurt, angry, or offended at not being included in the wedding party, especially my stepmother's 2 sons. They feel like they're the more obvious choice over India for being dudes. But some of the girls are also just like, if India can do it, why not all of them as well? I have made it clear nobody else is being asked. My stepfather told me he'd pay for me to include all his kids, and I said no. Dad offered to pay for the wedding reception if I asked all the siblings on his side. The answer was also no. Mom told me that they would gift us a honeymoon or whatever we wanted for their side, and again, no. My stepmother called me an idiot and told me to think of etiquette and social standing. I told her to screw off with her social standing. I don't give a crap about it. She called me vulgar. I said they can't buy people into the wedding. Several of the people involved told me I was excluding family and harming family harmony. There is none and never was. They said I should think of the younger kids especially, and how sad they'll be not to be counted as siblings during the wedding when only India is involved. I asked my mom and dad if they really wanted their younger kids and stepkids involved by force when none of them wanted to be in the wedding. I asked if that was really what they were going for. They were both angry at me for describing it that way, which may have been too harsh, but no less true. Eloping is not what Millie and I want, which I know will be suggested. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. Am I adding this up correctly? And there were 14 step and non-step siblings between your bio parents and step-parents? If you tried to accommodate 14 people, that would take you from the nice, small, intimate wedding party of 2 each to the circus. Some people like that, but it doesn't sound like your style. If you tried to accommodate a couple, you'd just make a bigger mess. I would tell everyone that there are just too many of them, so you pick the ones you're closest to represent the family, and hope everyone else enjoys being at the wedding as a guest. Their idea of family harmony is one crazy family tree. This is the thing that stands out the most to me, regardless of connections, etc. There are too many people to add to a wedding party, even if you want to. No one cares about the groom and bride. These demands are all about them. OP, elopement isn't the answer. Uninviting people could be. Tell your family to drop it, or you will drop them. They don't need to be there. And security absolutely is essential for people who cannot or will not behave. I immediately got an image of all the step and half siblings having group shirts that'll say, "I'm in the wedding because my mommy or daddy paid for me to be." It's not nice, nor is it what OP should do, but it definitely gave me a smile. Your wedding, your choice, and your family sounds exhausting. I celebrated the 4th with my in-laws, and they had a crab bake. I have a toddler, and he's not picky at all. He really enjoyed eating the crab. My in-law got my son a bib and a little crab hat. My mom and sister have always been judgmental about my husband's family lifestyle. I ate mostly grilled cheese and cut up hot dogs at that age. I was also always forced to order from the kids' menu past the time I should have to save money. My mom had this idea of children's food versus adult food, so I wasn't allowed to eat anything she would call fancy. My husband was raised differently, and he was allowed to eat whatever his parents ate. His mom made one meal for all, so he could have steak, crab, and lobster if the adults were. My mother-in-law took many cute videos of my toddler because it was her first grandchild, and she was having a kick feeding him crab. Both had an amazing time. My mother-in-law posted her videos, and my sister shared them, saying how it was wrong to spoil a toddler at that age, and posted it in her mom group for thrifty moms shaming me. My mom also had a lot of comments about it and blocked my husband and me from seeing it. She did not block my mother-in-law, and she saw it, and she was angry at my sister for speaking about her grandbaby like that. My sister and her child have a birthday coming up next week, and my husband refuses to let me take out her son. I decided not to go either after this. My mom and sister think I should get over it. The thing is, my husband and I were paying for the cake because both my mom and sisters were broke. He's now refusing to do that or get my nephew anything. My sister took to blasting us on social media again, calling me an ungrateful gold digger, and I'll get what's coming when my husband cheats on me and leaves me like men like him always do. Am I the idiot for refusing to buy my nephew a birthday cake after my sister and mom shamed me? Not the idiot. Got it. Your broke darn mother and immature sister, who can't afford a cake for her child's birthday, are jealous of your in-laws. Send something for your nephew and ditch the party. This poor child has nothing to do with his grandmother and mother's egregious behavior. He's just a little boy. Off topic, but how hard is it to buy some cheap cake mix, frosting, and candles? They can't be that broke to afford at least that. You and your husband are in agreement. They can bake the nephew a cake or come up with the money to buy one. Your mom and sister seem to be envious, and it is destroying your relationship. Ungrateful gold digger? What exactly are you supposed to be grateful for? Your mom and sister are idiots to publicly insult you and then expect favors. They judge your parenting, shame you online, call you a gold digger, and imply that your husband will cheat and leave you. I would respond, keep going. You're really making me want to do you a favor. My girlfriend and I were invited to an engagement party that my friend from undergrad was having. I found out later that a girl, I'll call Erin, with whom I went on a few dates with in undergrad, was going. Normally this wouldn't matter at all, but after I told her I wasn't feeling a romantic spark, but that we could be friends, Erin flipped out on me. She would send me tons of voicemails telling me I was leading her on. I was shallow, not sure what prompted that. I never told her I didn't like her because of appearance, and I wouldn't find anyone else but her, etc., etc. It's been several years since undergrad, so I assumed that she would have hopefully chilled out or forgotten about me. Fast forward to the party, and my girlfriend and I are mingling. My girlfriend is very nice and friendly and gets along with everyone. I run into Erin, and she immediately comments in a snide tone. Oh, hey, I didn't know you would be here. Almost didn't recognize you with the dad bod. I say hello, and I try to ignore her, but she's kind of following me for a bit. She makes another snide comment when she sees my girlfriend from afar by saying, she's so thin. I always knew that was your type. I ask Erin to please leave me alone for the night, and she just stomps away. I find my girlfriend and we're hanging out and having fun until Erin comes up to us and makes a comment. Oh, OP, who's this? My girlfriend introduced herself politely before I could say something and complimented Erin's nails. Erin doesn't even introduce herself and says in a condescending tone, I wish I could pull off that dress you're wearing, but I think it only works for people with small boobs. I try to keep my cool because we're all way too old for this, but I became really agitated with Erin, making comments about people's bodies. I snapped back and said, I think it'd be difficult to pull off for you in the waist area. If you want to know where we got this dress, I'd be happy to send you the link in a bigger size. Erin immediately recoils. She doesn't say anything and leaves. Later that night, a few mutual friends came up to me, saying they saw Erin sobbing, and she told them that I called her fat and ruined her night. My girlfriend tells me Erin was projecting her insecurities onto us, and she wasn't even mad, just sad for her. I admit it was not the most mature move I've done, but how unwarranted was my comment? Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. You stood up for your girlfriend. Kudos to you. Erin attacked you first and in a very nasty way. She got the taste of her own medicine. Hopefully, you let others know she made poor comments first. But the fact that your girlfriend said she feels sorry for Erin and she's not upset, you got yourself a winner. Yep, classic mean girl. Non-stop behaviors basically demanding to have a fight for hours on end. And the second clapback happens. She's the victim. I agree with OP. 30s are too old to still be like this. Perhaps he taught her a valuable lesson. It takes no more effort to be nice than it does to be a douche. Probably not, though. Considering she went crying to other people about how mean the OP was, she sounds like the type who thinks it's mean when done to her, but if she does it to someone else, it's just telling it like it is. Some people just lack self-awareness and empathy. They can only ever see things from their own point of view.